My channel has always been about finding commonality amongst all of us. But if there is one thing that we definitely all have in common, it's this.
Go! Special wish.
Our birthdays. Everybody has a birthday.
Happy birthday to you!
Woo! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Michael!
Happy birthday to you!
Make a wish!
So I decided, because my birthday just passed, that we should look around the world at different dishes that connect people to their cultures. So today we have 5 birthday-inspired recipes from 5 different countries.
Hi, my name is Nailis. I'm from Indonesia. I live in Pekalongan City, Central Java, Indonesia. Talking about birthday, my birthday is on August 1st and I am a Leo. The dish I want to talk about is tumpeng. Tumpeng is a cone-shaped rice dish that part of celebration and other important events in Indonesia.
This is the Uncle Roger mandatory proof that I'm cleaning my rice shot. Done.
And has a lot of meaning attached to it. Tumpeng is made from regular white rice, but add with spices like turmeric to make the yellow color, coconut milk, lime leaves, lemongrass, banana leaves, bay leaves, and a little bit salt. One of the interesting things about nasi tumpeng is the way it is served. Usually, tumpeng rice is served in one large tray with a mountain of yellow rice in the center. Tumpeng is like the birthday cake for us. It's tasty, and the rice itself has an aromatic flavor.
For this recipe, I only needed to buy the lemongrass because I already had banana leaves and pandan in my freezer, which is how you know you're an international food content creator when you're a white girl in New York City storing pandan and banana leaves in her freezer for a rainy day.
And you can have it with side dishes that you want, like chicken, egg, beefs, and vegetables. This dish may not really represent what people eat on birthdays in general, but traditionally and especially among Japanese people, tumpeng or yellow rice is one of their typical foods when it comes to birthdays. The word tumpeng is an acronym for Tumapaking Panguripan Tumindak Plate Tumuju Pangeran, meaning that humans must follow God Almighty's path. The serving of tumpeng represents a request for God's protection, salvation, and blessings for all life's purposes.
For one of my side dishes for the tumpeng, I'm gonna make rolled eggs, and people have asked before about this pan. This is a tamagoyaki pan to make rolled eggs in Japan, but you can obviously use it for anything, but this is great for making rolled eggs, so you'll see me do it. Now,
the mountain shape of the rice symbolizes greatness, prosperity, and blessing in Indonesian culture, and the color of the yellow rice symbolizes wealth and glory. And when this dish is served, there is a special ritual performed. Before eating, one will take some of the yellow rice from the top part as a sign of respect to the ancestors and gods. It is a way to remember and appreciate those who have contributed to our life.
so we've come to the grand finale part where I now need to make the tower using this banana leaf as a mold. I have the beautiful rice, which smells absolutely amazing. The pandan and the lemongrass are just glorious in here. How I'm going to shape this, however, leaves much to my imagination. So I feel like there will be multiple attempts. Attempt number 1.
It also reminds us of the importance of appreciating our cultural heritage and maintaining the tradition of a meaningful meal.
Tipped at the top. There's no way that's gonna stand up. I made it too thin. It's a log. I need like this. Okay, attempt number 2. Like, how do I make it round on the sides? Maybe, okay, what? Wait, okay. Attempt number 3. I think I figured it out. I think I know what to do. Hold on. Okay, I think that instead of doing this flat, I need to be doing this up. Like, everybody needs to come up. I feel like this is it. It's probably not gonna look perfect, but I think I'm just using it the way nature intended. Oh! I mean, it's not as tall as in the things, but like, I think this is pretty nice. I'm gonna try to make it a little taller.
In general, I really like birthdays. I really love when people, friends, and family come together to celebrate and give their best wishes.
Now we're getting a nice little tower.
I love seeing people smiling, happy, and singing together. It is always a memorable experience for me. And birthdays for me are not just celebration or a gift, but also a reminder that I must be grateful for everything that I have, grateful for the life that God has given me, and a reminder to make me a better person in the future. And in Indonesia, to say happy birthday, we say Selamat Ulang Tahun. It's appetizing, tasty, delicious, and when you know the meaning behind it, you'll get inspired by it. Enjoy the meal, and Selamat Ulang Tahun!
Oh my goodness gracious. I feel like the tower may not be as tall as some towers I saw online, but I definitely achieved a tower. So this is Tumpeng for one. Happy birthday to me. I put rolled egg, some chopped tomatoes, some fried tempeh, shallots, and peppers around here. Just like a simple little smattering of things that I like. Okay, I've removed my little cap. Wow, that rice is so floral. From the pandan and the lemongrass, and then with the coconut, it's really creamy. That's really good. I want this with some of the sambal. Ooh, now it's spicy. Shaping it into the tower, I was a little bit intimidated, to be honest. Okay, now, is this what we think I should be doing? I didn't see that many videos online of people doing it because most people, it looked like, had a mold. They put the rice in the mold and then opened the mold and everything was perfect. My recipe was all about using the banana leaves to shape it, and it just took me a couple of tries before I understood that the idea was kind of to lift instead of to roll it on the side. Okay, this is looking like a little tower. But I do think that ultimately I achieved a nice little tower. The nice thing about this dish is that you can make it whatever you want to make it, because the idea is that you put your favorite foods all around it. A really popular side dish to this is Indonesian style fried chicken, which I've made in my fried chicken episode, which I will leave a link to in case you want to try making it yourself. It's really good. This definitely feels like a birthday meal. All of your favorite foods around a platter. The big tower just makes it strikingly beautiful. I love the idea of this and I love the meaning of it. I loved learning about it. I loved making it. It made me think creatively and it also tastes really good. This episode is sponsored by the Korean brand Hasselbach, whose pots I've been using to cook the dishes in, and I worked with HB over there, who's gonna talk to us about the traditional Korean birthday dish, seaweed soup.
Hello, my name is Hyungbin, but I go by HB. I live in Seoul City in South Korea. My birthday is August 8th, and I'm a Leo. The dish I wanted to share with you all is a dish called byeokguk, or seaweed soup in English. Seaweed soup may mislead you into thinking that it's just seaweed and soup, but it is usually made with beef as well. People in Korea eat this for breakfast.
I am going to be making the seaweed soup in my Hasselbach Dutch oven, which is a non-toxic, heat-retaining, and amazing heat-distributing Dutch oven. It also has this lid that is gonna lock in all your moisture, which is perfect when you're making a soup. And these pots retain heat longer than other pots and are perfect for everyday use. It can also be used on all heat sources, including inductions.
During their birthday, to give honor to our mothers for birthing us. It's a dish that is very hard to dislike.
It's doing a really nice job giving me a little sear on this meat. One of the nice things about this is that it needs absolutely no seasoning ever, which, as a low maintenance girl like me, 2 thumbs up.
And it represents a lot of the culture of who we are. Each morning for my birthday, I knew that I would be eating seaweed soup.
Another really nice thing about this pot is that it has this stainless steel rim here, which means that it's never gonna rust, and also, it's good for when you need to knock stuff off your fork or spoon or spatula. It's not gonna dent. This is a super niche thing, but one of the best things about this lid is that it has no screw. So this is never going to be loose, and that's not something that's that easy to do. The lid has a super tight fit, and again, there is no screw. So this little guy is never going to annoy you. Cook well, my little soup.
It's a very Korean dish. When you eat it with rice and kimchi, it is a perfect combination. I think this is a very good dish to fill you up.
Yum. The seaweed is so good in this. It's delicious and comforting. You know what else is comforting? The 20% off discount that you can get on these Dutch ovens by using the code BERYL at checkout. This is definitely a pot that will last you a lifetime. It will never chip, it will never rust. So it's a big time purchase, but you make it once and you have a beautiful pot for cooking all sorts of things forever, including this amazing seaweed soup.
Hi Beryl, my name is Yami. I live in Orlando, Florida, born in Miami, but was raised in Managua, Nicaragua. My birthday is January 1st, which makes me a Capricorn. And the dish I want to introduce you to today is Arroz a la Valenciana, or Valencia style rice, the most popular birthday dish in Nicaragua. This rice dish contains shredded chicken, cut up rounds of hot dogs, and plenty of veggies such as corn, carrots, celery, and bell pepper, and obtains its orange color from spices such as annatto, as well as a mixture of ketchup and Worcestershire sauce. All these ingredients get mixed together into one big pot, and the flavors combine into a savory, slightly sweet and tangy dish.
I have one thing that I want to say, and it's about celery. I have strong opinions that I really think that they should be selling us single stalks of celery. I just always am stuck with celery. I would do a celery episode because I feel like we all need it, but none of us would want it. I wouldn't even click on it because I'd be like, ugh. Not that I hate celery, I hate big celery, forcing us all to just have so much celery in our house. I've said celery too many times, it has no meaning. He does say this, everyone's gonna be like, no, like put it in soup stocks, like blah, blah, blah. No. It's stuck in my fridge until it dies, and I'm mad at celery companies for that. I'm just mad at them.
This is referred to in Nicaragua sometimes as arroz de piñata, or rice for the birthday party.
Okay, that's enough tomato footage.
But it's so easy to make in bulk. At my house, we would make it for a long weekend, so it could kind of take the guesswork of trying to find something new to eat every day. This dish is a humble take on Spanish paella, and was most likely first cooked when Spanish settlers arrived to Nicaragua and were trying to replicate this dish with local ingredients. The simple ingredients are so easy to find, it's perfect to serve for a big group. We love to celebrate birthdays in Nicaragua and love to get any excuse to celebrate with our friends, family, and neighbors. And celebrating with special foods, pastries, treats. In Nicaragua, we say happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños. Nicaraguan food, such as arroz a la Valenciana, is a perfect example of how simple ingredients can be made into delicious flavor-packed dishes. I hope you enjoy it, and it inspires you to try other Nicaraguan foods, as we are definitely an underrated cuisine.
I love the color of this, plus I love that we used quail eggs, and I was smart this time. When I made kwek kwek a long time ago, I was peeling quail eggs forever. This time, get them out of the jar, they're pre-peeled. Ooh, this is like, oh my God. This is so flavorful. This is like the best fried rice I think I've ever had. I like that this recipe can use day-old rice. I did not use day-old rice, but I put it in the refrigerator so that it would get nice and cold. That way it doesn't get too mushy when you cook it because there's a lot of liquid in this. I want a whole quail egg, a whole one. I love them. I'm just stuffing my face, I'm sorry. Let me talk to you about this dish. The flavor of it is super savory. The shredded chicken in it, which was very hard to do. I don't know why I had so much trouble shredding the chicken. Why is this hard? But it gives it this really nice meatiness. It's not just a fried rice dish. There's the hot dog in it, yum, and there's the chicken in it, all the different vegetables, the flavor of the sazon and the achiote, like, there's so much happening in this dish. There's so many textures between the celery and the carrots. What else is even in here? Green peppers, peas, onions. This is a big grocery list. However, this is definitely an amazing dish to prep for the whole weekend, to prep for a party. I totally agree with that. This has all the trappings of a great birthday party food because it's easy to make, super easy for everyone to eat, and I'm having it room temperature and it's amazing room temperature. So you don't need to be fussing over the dish and worrying that it's not hot anymore, which I do that all the time at dinner parties where I'll be like cooking and screaming at everyone, and then I'll be like, it's not even hot, and I'm mad at everybody. And then I'm like, oh, I love having people over for dinner. It's a vicious cycle. Another fabulous meal for the channel. Happy birthday to everybody in Nicaragua.
Hiya! My name is Aini and I have lived in Singapore pretty much all my life. My birthday falls on the 20th of May and I am a Taurus. The dish that I want to talk about today is Hoon birthday or birthday rice vermicelli. Hoon birthday is basically a rice vermicelli dish fried in a wok with vegetables and any kind of protein of your choice. It is a dish commonly served at birthday parties when you want to feed a whole lot of people with diverse taste buds but still want to serve something fancier than just plain rice.
Please work. This is so much better than that stupid red blender that I had for so long. Just goes to show the right tools. Ugh, I love my NutriBullet. Not sponsored.
To be honest, it tastes kind of plain, but that makes it the perfect foil for the other more exciting dish that we might serve at a birthday party. Most Singaporeans are acquainted with this dish in some form or another. I would say that this form of this dish is more common to the Malay Singaporeans.
This is a green that I've never had before and I've never worked with it, called choy sum. It kind of feels like it's kale adjacent with the thick stems, but then spinach adjacent with the big leaves. But I'm gonna cut this into ribbons. It smells like the stereotype of a green leaf. Kind of like a garden though, I like it.
The Chinese Singaporeans serve a similar dish, but it is brown because there's soy sauce in it.
Well, you all shamed me enough into washing my vegetables, at least on camera.
You get different recipes depending on whether you spell it with an M as in Hoon or B as Hoon. We don't have any particularly special meaning for this dish, though it might be influenced by the Chinese symbolism of noodles being long and equating it to having a long life.
This smells really, really good, and I love how colorful it is. I feel like all the dishes that we're making today are just so pretty. It feels very birthday that it's just joyful to look at all of these.
I never really appreciated birthdays aside from the opportunity to stuff my face with cake and it must be chocolate. But now as a mom and having had that experience of giving birth, I truly appreciate birthdays and use it as an opportunity to honor my mom as my birth giver. And of course, now I celebrate my kids' birthdays as they go through every milestone.
Birthday noodles, I love it. Happy birthday everyone in Singapore. I don't think these taste plain at all. I mean, I guess compared to a chicken curry possibly, but these are delicious. The shrimps are good. A bouillon cube is a super powerful seasoner, that is for sure. I just really stuffed my face on that one. Kind of forgot I was on camera for a moment. I think this might have been my first time cooking rice vermicelli noodles. It was interesting how you soak them first and then you cook them. They just became soft. Like, they weren't cooked in the warm water that I soaked them in, but they cooked very quickly when I put them in the pot with everything else. Slicing the beef thin, I kind of felt like a sushi chef, and I think you want it really thin because you want it to cook quickly because you don't want to overcook everything else. I cut it the right way. I'm always nervous about cutting it the wrong way, like with the grain against the grain. I did it the right way this time. I think the hardest part of this whole dish was cutting up the carrots in a matchstick. I always feel like I get yelled at by you guys about how I cut things with my fingers and hold the knife, and I just wanted to make y'all proud, but I definitely didn't keep my fingers tucked this time. It's hard. As it says in the banner on my YouTube page, I am not a chef. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl in her kitchen asking you to stop yelling at me about how I cut things. As a dish for a large group, especially at a birthday party, this dish is amazing. It's super easy to put together. You can customize it however you want, and I think everybody would like it who doesn't like noodles, right? I mean, I love noodles. So I would definitely make this again for my own birthday party. For sure.
Hi, my name's Susan. I'm from Canberra in Australia. My birthday is the 9th of July and I'm a Cancer. We're here to talk about fairy bread, and some could say it's a tradition for children's birthday parties in Australia and I think New Zealand.
Susan said that the butter needs to be soft, and she was not kidding. White bread is not a forgiving bread, and if your butter is anything less than like warmer than room temperature, you are going to tear it. So this is pretty good. I'm getting that smooth spread that you get in like a video on the internet. Nope, and in commercial. That's what I meant.
The history of fairy bread is not really known, but they say it's also from maybe the child verse poem by Robbie Louis Stevenson, but I can't verify that.
Here in the US, these are called nonpareils, but in Australia, they're called hundreds and thousands, but it is the same thing. The round, colorful little type of sprinkles, and those are important to use, not the other ones.
It's pretty nice to have. It's bright and colourful, and it must be cut in triangles.
Millions and billions.
Otherwise, it's just not right. It reminds me whenever I see fairy bread of the birthday party and the fun I used to have as a child going to a birthday party to eat fairy bread. It's very easy to make, only 3 ingredients required, which makes it very simple. Birthdays in Australia are a celebration of fun with family and friends. Fairy bread is not very healthy for you, but it's very nice. Thanks very much. Bye.
Well, happy birthday, Australia. It's really good. It's making me giggle. Why is it making me giggle? Okay, pull it together. At first bite, you just get the very soft bread, which in the back of my mind, you think like, no, you want to toast it. Then you get the flavor of the butter, and then you get the sweet, crunchy sprinkles that just bring everything together. For something so simple, I am very behind this. When I put the call out, I had so many Australians respond, if you don't include fairy bread, I will rage. So obviously I acquiesced, and I'm so glad I did. I do agree that the sprinkle choice matters. I don't think you can use the sprinkles that I'm more used to that are longer and thinner because you want that poppy crunch in your mouth, which is really fun. I get it, kids. I get it, Australia. I am behind this for my birthday party. This is absolutely going to be a hit.
My name is Christa, and I'm from Minnesota in the Midwestern United States. My birthday is in January, and I'm a Capricorn. The dish I want to share today is a birthday cake. This birthday cake is a chocolate mayo sponge I like to fill with raspberry jam and frost with vanilla Swiss meringue buttercream.
Before I start, I just want to say that I am so far out of my comfort zone. This recipe is the most intimidating recipe I've ever made. The only cake I've ever made was the yogurt cake from my yogurt episode, and now I'm just doing a full-on meringue buttercream chocolate cake. I would never normally make something like this for someone's birthday. Sorry. The other thing I want to say is my friend Janelle taught me that when you're baking, you can't use cup measurements. You have to weigh everything on a scale. So I'm going to try to do this the professional way, and we're going to weigh everything. Okay, good. 250 grams. I'm like, I have to do this. I'm going to do it right.
The mayo in this cake makes it super moist, and the raspberry jam is nice and tart with a soft frosting that isn't quite as sweet as a lot of American-style buttercreams.
Look at me. I'm in a rom-com and I'm baking. Do I have flour on my nose? My love interest just wiped it off.
It's absolutely delicious. I love how soft and moist this cake is. When people hear mayo cake, they give you a puzzled look, like how can you put mayonnaise in a birthday cake? But you can't taste the mayo at all. Chocolate and raspberry is one of my favorite flavor combinations, so I almost always request it for my birthday. Chocolate mayo cake is more of a cult classic in the United States. It tends to rise in popularity during times of rationing or scarcity, since the mayo is used in place of butter, oil, or eggs. that you would normally find in a more traditional cake recipe.
I measured the two of them out so they would be the same, and I guessed at the end of it, as my dad always says, close enough for hand grenades, but Leia's never heard of that turn of phrase. I'm curious if anyone else has. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
It does make sense.
It's a dark turn of phrase though. Okay. Ow! Ah! Shit!
No birthday is complete without some kind of special dessert, and nothing says special quite like a chocolate layer cake. Birthdays in the US are synonymous with cake, and it's usually the centerpiece of any birthday party.
This is really hard. I'm exhausted. Now I have to make frosting. I honestly feel like frosting is just something you buy. It's not something you make. I'm scared.
You can do it. You're gonna be fine.
My family has always treated birthdays as extra special occasions, and this cake was often requested by a lot of family members for their birthdays.
I need to understand how this is relaxing for people. My anxiety has never been higher while cooking. This is scary. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Oh my God. Sorry. What temper are we going for?
160.
160. What are we at?
125. You need a little bit
Nurse,
longer.
we need more time with the patient.
She needs more time.
Slow zoom in on my face and the death in my eyes. 145? 146? 157? 160?
It's so versatile, people could switch up the fillings or the frostings to suit their favorite flavors,
Whoa, cool, technology.
but we always make sure to top the cake off with some kind of birthday candle for a festive flourish that completes any celebration.
I feel like this is working. What the heck, my first try? Birthday success!
I love getting people together and celebrating. Birthdays are so special, and they give you a chance to share your favorite things with the people that you love. Birthdays are all about celebrating, and layer cakes are so festive and fun.
Taking this very seriously now. I've come this far. I've never frosted a cake. Actually, I've never frosted a cake like this. I've like slopped some on the top once of a box mix.
In the United States, we say happy birthday. I hope you're able to enjoy your own special cake for your birthday, and don't forget to make a wish when you blow out the candles.
Oh my God! This looks like a stereotype slice of cake. Shutterstock cake. Okay, I'm gonna make a wish. I made my first real cake! We may have gotten to the point where I can no longer say that I am not able to bake, because this is pretty impressive. It looks really good. I can't believe I was able to do this for my first try. This was a lot. Okay, I just need to taste this slice. Double layer with jam and cream. It's a good cake. That's a really good cake, actually. Whoa. It's so moist. Oh my God. I feel like the taste is different because of the labor that went into this cake. Whisking until my arm falls off. At the end, I was kind of saying to Leia, like, oh, like what's the difference between a box cake and just buying some frosting? There's a difference. There's a difference. This Swiss meringue buttercream is outrageously delicious. It's like a marshmallowy frosting. Oh, that's stiff. Whoa. The cake is super chocolatey, but having that layer of huckleberry jam in the middle cuts the sweetness and gives it this perfect blend of fruit and chocolate and this marshmallowy soft frosting. There's a lot of texture actually going on in this cake. If I was a judge on Great British Bake Off, and I was Paul, I would give myself a handshake. I would. Wow, thank you. This means so much to me. I also just can't believe the structure of this cake. This one has like a little bit of jiggle to it. I didn't put too much frosting on this because I'm not a huge frosting person. I do feel like this was the right amount, but I halved the recipe and I'm gonna put the half version on my website. So if you're really into frosting, you can double the recipe for the frosting and get the full caboodle. This was a lot of work. It took multiple hours and there was a lot of time waiting for stuff to cool where we just like watched television. We're waiting for everything to cool down, so we're watching a rom-com. But I do think something pretty impressive came out at the end that is far superior to any box birthday cake that I've ever had in my life. So if someone brought this to my birthday, I would be very grateful. Indeed. Okay, wait, I'm gonna get you a fork. You have to come and try this.
Okay.
I like how you're just sitting here watching me eat this.
Taste the cake.
I mean, I will, full disclosure, I don't like chocolate cake and I don't like frosting, so. Wow.
It's pretty good.
Okay, for a chocolate cake, that's really, really good. I also, yeah, the mayo makes it so moist.
How's the frosting though?
The frosting's amazing.
It's actually
so,
good frosting. It's like a marshmallow.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's just so like light and it doesn't take away from anything else happening.
And Leia is a real baker. Leia loves baking.
I do.
Yay, and you're impressed.
I'm extremely impressed. This is like for your first layer cake. I wouldn't believe you. Well done, Beryl. Happy birthday. Paul Hollywood handshake.
Oh, that felt good. This episode was so much fun. I feel like I learned so much, not only culturally about the world, but about myself. And that means a lot. All of the recipes are in the description, so you can remake any of these for your next birthday party or just for fun. Happy birthday to everybody all around the world, and I will see you all next week.